What up, YouTube? It's Aaron, your personal driver, and hopefully this goes a little bit better than it did yesterday. The web camera I have is I pulled it out of the bags, so like we're moving. So I unpacked it because I didn't like the LG webcam. Hopefully the audio works. We have laundry over there. Get in the camera. Laundry over there, dishwasher over there. And the kids are playing video games, so they're loud. Hopefully the audio works. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm super exhausted, guys. Nate, he's caught a little bit of the, I don't know if it's a flu or a cold or whatever. He was up all night crying and kicking, and he has diarrhea, and he's just miserable. So when your kid is miserable, you're pretty much miserable as well as a parent. So I'm really excited about the camera quality, so I'm glad I got the web camera up there, and I hope you guys can hear me too. So cheers, morning coffee to all you parents who have to deal with sick kids and probably eventually get sick yourself. So today I want to talk about the meeting yesterday. I haven't got to see all the videos from everybody. You can tell I'm getting stuffed up too, but I did watch Kevin the Entrepreneur's video, and he did a good job of explaining what happened at the meeting. I like having different opinions on something that happens, especially an experience you have. So I went to talk to the CEO in the group there, Bob the CEO. Hold on. I'm already getting the sniffles. And his interpretation of the meeting I thought was interesting and correct. He doesn't get as hyped as I do. I'm pretty easy to hype up. I'm like a hype machine a lot of times. You can see our fold-out couch bed here. But I realized, I thought about it a lot last night as I was staring at the ceiling because I didn't get much sleep because my kid was crying, that whenever you start a business, especially a business where you're trying to disrupt somebody who has a large market share, like Uber or Lyft does, you have to fix several problems. And that's what I like most about the crew there, is whether or not they can make this whole thing work. They know that there are challenges and that there are obstacles in the way, and they have put a plan in motion to overcome those challenges. So the title of this video is the chicken or the egg problem, which is actually kind of not really a problem. So scientists know about evolution now. So there's the question, did the chicken or the egg come first, is a dumb question, because obviously what happened is over a long period of time, dinosaurs evolved into different species of animals, and then whatever makes a chicken happy or makes a chicken survive better than another kind of species means that they developed their attributes over time. So that's there's not really a chicken or an egg problem. It's more of like a time. How long did the real challenge is, how long does it take for a chicken specific attribute to develop through natural selection, is the chicken or the egg problem. But Tryp Rideshare does have the metaphorical problem, the chicken or the egg, which is, how do you get drivers to drive for you if there are no customers? And how do you get customers to use your app if there's no drivers? And the reason I thought about this is because Dave, the Uber slave, asked about it in the meeting, and I didn't. The Kevin the Entrepreneur talked about it on his overview of the meeting on his website or on his YouTube channel, and that is in markets where there's oversaturation of drivers, you can get an Uber in like 5 seconds. If it takes more than 3 to 5 minutes to get an Uber in San Francisco, in LA, or some of these bigger markets, they're just going to cancel on you. In fact, customers know that they have 5 minutes to cancel, right? So they will request an Uber and a Lyft at the same time and cancel whoever gets there second. So Lyft pulls up first, they get in a Lyft, they cancel Uber because there's no fee under 5 minutes, and vice versa. So that's the chicken or the egg problem. They have addressed this problem, and I guess we'll see if it works. So how do you get drivers without any customers to use your app? How do you get customers with no drivers to get your app? So what the Tryp core does, like what their idea is over incentivize compensating the drivers. And because of that, the drivers will want to recruit customers. So first off, make sure you can even hear me. Can you hear me? And if someone answers that, that'd be good. So what do I mean by that? They've set up incentives basically for drivers to steal customers from Uber and Lyft. Now, in this particular market, it's not like name brand recognition doesn't really matter in the app world, right? Especially especially with millennials. So what I mean by that is a rideshare customer doesn't care if it's an Uber or Lyft. And honestly, all Uber drivers in San Francisco are Lyft drivers, and all Lyft drivers in San Francisco are Uber drivers. So the customer doesn't really care. So because there's no brand loyalty, Scott's in the house. What's up, Scott? What they've done is they've built into the structure of the company plan incentives for drivers to push Tryp over Uber and Lyft. I call it the Juno model. It's what Juno did in New York and Boston before they got bought out by that Chinese company, or was it Russian company? They got bought out, but which is based in the service fee. So anytime you log in on your phone, Uber and Lyft both charge a service fee, or I think it's called a technology fee on Lyft. But let's I think it's like $2. Let's see what it is here in LA. So I'll pull up my Lyft app right now, and I'll go. I want to go. Let's go home. And then I'm just curious as to what the service fee is. So let's find out. So it just says plus service fee applies. So it's around $2 or $2 to $3 is what the service fee is for Lyft. I'm sorry I didn't pull up. I guess I could look it up. So with Tryp, they're gonna charge a service fee for every trip. So as a rider, as a customer, you'll get charged per minute per mile, and on top of that is a service fee. Now, with Uber and Lyft, they take 100% of the service fee. Work half the time, make my money doing GrubHub these days. GrubHub is good, man, because they have a good tipping incentive in there, which is why I think Lyft is better than Uber right now, because it's automatic tipping on Lyft too. Anyway, the chat always gets me distracted from what I'm talking about. What was I talking about? I was talking about something of relative. Oh, right. So with Tryp's service fee, they want to share the service fee with drivers who refer customers. So it's $1.90 is what they're going to charge the customer. If your referral code is used with Tryp, you get 40 cents of the service fee for the lifetime of that customer uses Tryp. So essentially, they're letting you in on the money they're making from the service fee. So that's how they plan on solving the chicken or the egg problem. The driver needs customers, the customer needs drivers. Recruit as many drivers as you can and incentivize them to recruit customers. And it worked for Juno. It worked so well for Juno that Uber tried firing drivers because the drivers were pushing Juno so hard. So there's that. The other thing that they're trying to do, I mean, is build incentives in the business model for drivers to prefer Tryp over Uber and Lyft. One is the reason they have the pay structure the way it is, so you will know for sure you're an independent contractor and you're not an employee. Right now, there's a lot of legal battles, especially in California, over whether or not the drivers are employees or independent contractors. And it's not just a United States problem, they're on the problem worldwide. So what they've done is when you sign up with Tryp, you get your own merchant account. And the transaction between you and the customer is only between you and the customer. Meaning as a driver, when a rider signs up with you and you pick them up and you drive them someplace, 100% of that money goes into your merchant account, which is then deposited into your personal bank account. So Tryp doesn't ever touch the money. And the reason they've incentivized that is so that you know you're a contractor, right? And it's kind of genius because it gets them out of legal trouble. But what it does, guys, is at the end of the month, so January 1st, you sign up, you drive all month. At the end of the month, January 31st, you pay Tryp $200 for access to their app, for their technology app. So what that does is it allows you to make as much money as you want to that month, and then you pay your fee at the end. But since they never touch the customer's money, they're not involved in the business transaction. That's between you and the customer. So what it does is it makes drivers customers of Tryp and not beholden to Tryp. And that's the opposite of Uber and Lyft, where Uber and Lyft basically can tell drivers what they want to do all day long. Savage Scientist in the house. What's up, Savage Scientist? Go check that guy out. I love that guy. So that's the second thing that they're trying to do. And now I'm not talking about the legitimacy of the company, if they're going to do it or not. Remember, guys, this is a new company. They haven't even developed an app yet. They haven't had it beta tested. They haven't released it everywhere yet. Rideshare Dust in the house. Sup, Aaron? Yeah, I'm not sure about this personally. Here's the thing. Nobody knows. All this is an idea, okay? They got some funds, okay? They're a startup company, and they have ideas. So all I can talk to you about is the ideas. I've had many of them saying for everyone to make an LLC. You should have an LLC now. I mean, yeah, you don't want if you get in a car accident, you don't want a customer to come after your personal stuff. You should have an LLC for this. But anyway, so this video is, like I said, is about the chicken or the egg problem. How do you get customers if there's no drivers? How do you get drivers if there's no customers? Mr. John in the house. Sounds good. $2,400 a year. Yeah, it's I'll maybe do a video later on the math of that. But I actually stopped displaying my Uber logo and used my Swampland TSP light sign up. That's funny, Savage Scientist. You should go through your Uber receipts and see how much money you're paying Uber. Because if you work 8 months out of the year, you're paying more than $2,400 to Uber. And then the last thing that they're doing to incentivize drivers to do this is they're doing in-person help. What's up, Johnny? Maybe you shouldn't dance with your underwear on in the live stream, huh?
I'm looking for my tablet.
Oh, I think it's under all this stuff. It's under the table right there.
Is it?
Yeah. But anyway, so let me back up. So Tryp isn't, I don't even think you can consider Tryp a company yet. Tryp is an idea that some dudes have. Actually, to be fair, I did like the makeup of the core team. So there were 6 people. There was 2 women. So that's good. So there were women there. There's 4 dudes, and at least 3 of them looked like they had some kind of minority going on, some situation. So that's good. It's not all white dudes. So there's some diversity on there. So that made me happy too. The side gig guy in the house. What's up? But what I liked is, Johnny, use your headphones. Jonathan. Okay. Grab your headphones. Lol, at the end of the year, multiply your earnings by 1.38. Exactly. So, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. What's up, Nate? Okay. You want some snack? I'll fix it later, dude. Kids. So anyway, it's just ideas. They have an idea for a company, and it's a startup company, and they haven't even done anything yet. You can't even get the app. There are no referral codes. If you wanted to drive for Tryp today, you couldn't. So all I can talk to you about is the ideas that they have. They're going to start that shit in Seattle, according to Drive Forward, saying we're employees. You are, like Scott. The way it works now, you're an employee of Uber and Lyft. That's it. There's nothing else to do. We're done. We're done with the conversation. You're not an independent contractor. Oh, I forgot one more thing. So the other thing they're going to do is, if a customer likes your business, they can save your profile on their phone, and when they open the Tryp app, they can personally request you. That's a stark contrast to Uber and Lyft, who doesn't want to give their drivers control over that. So if you build a customer base, you no longer have to take cash under the table. You no longer have to sit in the car and have your customer request over and over and over again, hoping to get you. They can request you personally. So that's another loyalty thing they're building there. So that's how the team at Tryp is trying to solve the problem of how we get customers and drivers. They're over incentivizing the drivers right now to push Tryp over Uber and Lyft, because nobody has brand loyalty. Drivers don't have brand loyalty. Drivers don't give a shit about Uber or Lyft. Drivers will go wherever there's money. If you make more money with the power driver bonus, you'll drive for Lyft. If you make more money with the incentives Uber offers in the surge, you go with Uber. So if you can make more money signing up people for Tryp, drivers are going to sign up people for Tryp. So I understand the idea behind it. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it'll work. On paper, it makes sense. There's about 500,000 to 1 million drivers in the United States. So if you can get 10% of those drivers to pay you $200 a month, you can run a company. You don't have to pay for advertising. You don't have to pay, licensing fees and shit like that. You don't have to pay, the taxes and all that kind of stuff that you pay with employees. And Uber and Lyft have already built the rideshare community up. So there's just customers waiting for you there. So you could operate with that much money. And then Uber should just charge drivers a flat amount, like $75 a day. They're entitled to 16 hours on the app, and they keep 100% of the profit. Yes, I agree with you, Savage Scientist, and that's ultimately what Tryp is trying to do. And it would make it seem more legit that we're contractors and not employees if that was the case. Because right now, the way Uber's set up, I'm telling you guys, you're an employee right now because of the pay structure. Uber charges customers whatever they want to charge them with upfront pricing, and then they pay drivers a set wage. There's no correlation. There's nothing in the way Uber operates seems like you're an independent contractor except for your 1099. But what I'm worried about with the way that they're going to do this, with the way that they're going to go heavy on the drivers, what I'm worried about is there's not going to be any customer loyalty. So there'll be driver loyalty because drivers are going to want to sign up people because drivers have an incentive financially to sign up people for Tryp. But the problem I see is customers really don't give a shit about Uber, Lyft, or Tryp. I mean, they don't care. So once the customer pulls down the app and tries it once, what's to keep them to keep using it? There's no built-in customer loyalty right now. And Tryp doesn't have Uber money. It doesn't have Lyft money. If Uber wants to do a promotion in a city, for example, they just give out free rides all day long or a whole weekend. I remember when Uber started in Olympia, Washington, it was over a 3-day weekend, and all 3 days were 100% free. Free rides just in Olympia all day. Tryp didn't have that kind of money. Now, they are going to do some things to help customers, meaning there's no surge at all ever. Whatever the rates are, those are the rates. And so I do see, like, you know, in events, you know, at concerts, at bar closing time, customers opening the app and not wanting to use Uber because there's too much surge, not wanting to use Lyft because there's too much prime time, but wanting to use Tryp because there's no surge, right? The problem is that exacerbates the surge problem. And what do I mean by that? If you're at a bar, there's 10 drivers and there's 15 requests, that creates a surge, right? So those 15 customers were like, fuck this, I don't want to pay surge, I'm going to use Tryp. They turn on the Tryp app and they take a Tryp ride first because there's no surge. So let's say that of the 10 available drivers on Uber, 5 of them are Tryp drivers. So those 5 drivers take the non-surge ride. Well, now there's only 5 drivers available, and now there's 10 people. So the surge, there's 10 customers. So now the surge goes even higher. So what not having surge does in surge areas is it incentivizes you to use Uber as a driver over Tryp, because if they use Tryp, give the non-surge ride to another driver and let that sucker take a non-surge ride, and then it'll make available drivers even less. So I like that there is it's because it's more fair to the customer and to the driver if it's the same rate all the time. But demand drives surge. So if there are less drivers taking surge rides than if you're using Uber, that means there's more surge for you. No rematch at the airport would suck. Yeah, I don't know. I wish there were 4 Uber tubers there, and we all drive for Uber, and we didn't ask about airports at all. So that was our bad. When Uber started here in Baton Rouge, I can't talk. That is what they did. Free rides for customers, and drivers got $5 plus the cost of the ride, similar to how they did in Olympia. Yeah. So no rematch would suck too. I agree with that. I assume it's just going to be like a waiting lot thing there. We'll see. We'll see how that works. But if there's a loyalty program built in to where customers can ask for their favorite drivers, and it will help people like in the suburbs who have the same customers at the same time going to the same places all the time. So that'll help the airport burn a little bit if you're out in suburbia. So for those of you who never worked in the suburbs before, you know, there are a lot less people in the suburbs. And so you drive the same people to the same places. And so you do try, like, it's funny, you know that Mondays Bob is going to go to the airport. And so every Monday you try to go like real close to Bob's house and then turn on your app. But I mean, it's kind of creepy. So it'd be nice if they could just request you there. Anyway, so Tryp is a startup company. They don't got a lot of cash. They certainly don't have $7 billion like Uber. So Tryp can't operate the same way Uber does. They just don't have the money to pay out the driver incentives. They don't have the money to pay out referral bonuses. They don't have the money to give out free rides and stuff like that. They may end up doing some of that stuff. But what really worries me is they don't seem to have the money for marketing. And we asked them a lot yesterday about marketing. And they were like, well, we'll do some stuff. I don't know what that means. If the app is coming out in the next couple of weeks or in January, now is when they should start the marketing push. I don't see any marketing. I don't see YouTube ads. I don't see billboards. When the weed company, so for those of you who don't know, weed is legal in California now. It got legalized this year. And there's an app-based weed delivery service called Ease. So literally, if you have a phone and you want weed, like you push this button, it's connected to your credit card, and some dude or chick shows up at your door and gives you weed. It's called Ease. Vinny Cuz in the house. There were billboards literally everywhere advertising Ease when the app started or right before it opened up. And I don't know. So why are we tripping over this if it isn't even live yet? That's funny. So first off, great play on words. There's how much coffee I have left. So I'm not there with dad jokes yet. But I'll get there once I wake up a little bit. But here's the thing. They are going to beta test in Las Vegas, Arizona, and I forget the other place. They said there's 4 places, and one of them's a random one like Utah or Wyoming or something like that, just to see if the app works. So they are going live soon, beta test, and then they're going to open up in bigger markets like LAX, mostly southern states. There's not a lot of northern states. So Chicago they're not going to open in Chicago or New York yet. Atlanta is one of them. Bay Area, obviously. And that's going to happen in the next couple months. The reason we're tripping is because Dave the Uber slave made a video that said something along the lines of Tryp is a scam. It's not a real company. And then there were some other bloggers and vloggers and Uber tubers that started talking shit about Tryp. Here's why. They're not doing any marketing. Well, I'll backtrack from that. They told us they haven't done any marketing. So they might be lying. It wouldn't be the first time a company was like, they did something shady, like send out bots to email every single rideshare driver 1 million times, and then deny that they did it. Johnny thing? Stop it. Share with your brother. Kids fighting over stuff. So the materials that have been released on Tryp are all like basically traditional advertisers that make money off referrals. Okay. But they are marketing now through you guys. Smart move. Yes. Well, that's why they contacted us. So that's what I was explaining, Vinny. So there's a couple of videos out and a couple of Facebook groups and a couple of Twitter bots and stuff like that. But that's not Tryp, the company. That's somebody who made money off of Uber and Lyft referrals and knows how much money you can make when a company first starts in rideshare. Like, think about if you were on the ground floor with Uber and you were one of the first people to get a referral code with Uber, and you had the first Uber Facebook group, and you had the first Twitter handle that had something to do with Uber, and you had the first YouTube channel with Uber. You would have made a killing with referral codes. Because when Uber started, it was like $2,000 for a referral. So the marketing materials you're seeing now are just people who are going to wait for the app to open, get a referral code, and then push the code hard. Those materials haven't been made by Tryp, according to them. Now, hey man, it's dog eat dog in the business world, especially when you're trying to disrupt Uber and Lyft. So if it turns out they did make those marketing materials, gave them to some dude and was like, hey, put these up on your website, but we'll deny them that they exist or whatever, that wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, executive's going to exec. You know what I mean? So when Dave released his video, that is a fake company, the head of marketing contacted Dave. And this is another reason, as a side note, that I'm beginning to trust him, right? Because I was dubious. Like, I wasn't Rideshare Revolution dubious. Like, that guy's like, no. But when a critic criticizes your company and you don't go after the critic, but you invite the critic to your home and you show him why you think that he's wrong, not by selling him, but just having conversation with him, that bodes well. Okay. So if you're running a scam and someone comes up to you and says, this shit's a scam, you don't go, no. Come over to my house. Let me show you it's not a scam. And be like, oh, by the way, this is a scam. Do you see what I'm saying? So the fact that Dave the Uber slave released a video that put him on the hot seat, they didn't like attack Dave, but they invited that's why they came to California. They're not even releasing the app in California. They're a Las Vegas company. But they came to California to talk to us Uber tubers and try to set the record straight and show us what they're doing. Give us a peek under the hood. And here I am. It's what I call it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm tired because my kid was sick all night, and I'm talking about it. So I mean, it was a good idea by them. But I think that it shows that they're at least trying to do the right thing. That being said, guys, how many startups fail? I don't even know. What, 50%, 60%, 70%? I mean, most startups don't pan out. How many startups have failed trying to get into rideshare? All of them. Sidecar just in a last ditch effort, they sued them. Yeah. Absolutely. I signed up so that I can hopefully get the code first down here in Miami. I want to be on the ground floor. Right, Vinny? And honestly, it's a little different, Vinny. The driver referral program is not that good. In fact, the driver referral program basically looks like a pyramid scheme. I mean, I shouldn't go too far until they release the official version of it, because like I said, it's an idea right now. They haven't even finalized it, so they could even change it. But it looks like a multi-level marketing where you have to recruit so many drivers, and then it gets you to a certain tier, and that tier has bonuses, and then you keep going up the pyramid or the ladder, the multi-level marketing ladder, until you get to a certain point that makes you money by referring drivers. And that does sound a little shady, but they don't have money to pay for driver referrals. They can't pay $2,000 a head. Think about it. When Uber started, they gave $2,000 per head to refer a driver. They're only going to make $2,400 off of a driver the whole year, so they can't afford to pay for a driver referral. If they're charging you $200 a month, that is $2,400 they make a year. On the business side, that sounds good. If you can get 100,000 subscribers, I think it's either 2 million or 24 million. Let me do. I am so bad at math that I want to double check before I say that. But I think it's $24 million, right? 2,400 times 100,000. No, it's 240 million. So there are 500,000 drivers in the United States right now. If they can get 100,000 of them to pay them $200 a month, that's $240 million. That's enough money for a startup to run. That's not Uber money, but that's enough money to run a company. But they can't afford to give a $2,000 a head, because then they're only making $400 the whole year off that driver. And there's no guarantee the driver will drive the whole year. So because of that problem, they've come up with this multi-level marketing scheme to refer drivers. And I don't know how well it's going to work. Hey, Aaron in the house, what's up? So the thing is, they've pushed referring passengers because they can't afford to give money to you for passengers that sign up over drivers. So the push for drivers is not to refer other drivers like Uber and Lyft. The push for drivers is to refer customers. Because remember, they're charging a service fee like Uber and Lyft, but they're giving the driver 40 cents of that service fee. So they don't, if you never referred a driver, I'm sure they would be sad, but they wouldn't really care, because financially it doesn't really help them to bonus the drivers. But every single customer you have, you get 40 cents every time that person turns on the app. And if you're starting a company, like you don't have an app yet, you haven't had a beta test, you're just coming up with ideas, that is a better idea than Uber or Lyft's business model. Don't refer drivers, refer customers, because every time a customer that you've referred uses an app, you get 40 cents. You refer 10 customers, they use the app one time, you get $4. You refer 100 customers, now it's $40. And the fact that they're giving the drivers a cut of the service fee shows you that they're prioritizing drivers more than Uber or Lyft. Go ahead and email Uber or Lyft support right now and ask them how much of the service fee that you're going to get. Say, dear Lyft, you charge $2.57 for a service fee. My question is, as a driver, how much of that service fee do I get? $0. You get $0. So let's catch up with the chat here. Vinny,
talking to?
I'm talking to my homeboys and girls out in Uberland. He says, on the other hand, could be another Juno built up and sell, and that's yeah. Well, Guys, people complained about their shares of Juno being sold on the cheap, but they still got compensated. Eee. Without customers, you don't have a company. Aaron, that's basically what this video has been about the whole time I've been on here. Like it said, it's a chicken or an egg problem. How do you get drivers if there are no customers to drive? How do you get customers if there's no drivers to pick them up?
The all-seeing eye is back.
Dun, dun, dun. Remember how good it was to be an Uber driver in 2014? Yes, I do. And it's gotten worse over time. So here's the thing. This company might suck in 7 years, but they're going to start out better than Uber or Lyft. Anyway, Aaron, the solution is...
It's like you're talking to yourself.
It is like I'm talking to myself. That's how live streams work. Because people
Aaron,
come... What?
Why do you have the crock pot on?
I didn't mean to. Messing things up.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was saying, okay, I was answering Aaron's question. So what the Lyft team, or not Lyft, what the Tryp team has decided to do is incentivize drivers to recruit customers, Aaron. Lyft is, or the service fee that Tryp is going to charge every customer, they're going to split with the driver.
Uh-oh, Aaron, you made a huge mess.
So that incentivizes drivers to recruit customers. That's how they're thinking about solving the problem. I don't know if it'll work. That crock pot though, lol. Yeah, I turned it on by accident. I don't even know how I did it. I'm pretty tired right now.
You plugged it in.
It automatically turns on. You plug it in. I thought there's an on switch.
The switch was on.
Oh.
You plugged it in. You thought it was the coffee maker.
Like
probably.
Half of the viewers love it when you yell at me, and the other half leave when you start yelling. Not even a Tryp T-shirt. Rideshare Revolution in the house. Rideshare Revolution wants this to fail so bad. I can see now the videos he's going to do on me. Rideshare driver, your personal rideshare fail, you're a personal driver. Shills company that doesn't work. And
who are you going to become? What's that guy?
What's my nickname going to be, Rideshare Revolution? Your personal Tryp fail?
Who's that scheme? Your personal Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, he's going to call me your personal Ponzi scheme. No, he's going to call me your personal whore because I whore myself out for money.
You're not making any money.
Last night I said,
You're not making any money.
I said morals are for people who can afford to eat.
But you're not making any money from Tryp, are you?
Not yet. I haven't made a cent from them. All we're talking about is ideas. They don't have an app yet. They don't even have an app yet. It's all ideas right now.
I'm turning it off. It's so cold in there.
There's my new channel, Rideshare Revolution.
Your personal Ponzi.
Your personal Ponzi scheme.
No, not scheme.
Not scheme. Drop scheme. Your personal Ponzi. Your personal Ponzi.
Your personal Ponzi.
What's up, David in the house? You're not that good looking to be a whore. I don't know, man. I don't know. The gays love me, David.
He's a bear.
I'm what's called a bear, and you can see like, oh, look at the chest hair. I'm a hairy, cuddly bear, and the gays love me. It's #truth. Hey, when you got it, you got it.
Someone's just hating.
Someone's just hating on us hairy bears. Google it if you want to, but you may want to clear your search history after that because you'll get some weird ads if you Google it.
Turned on by it.
Chocolate Slayer in the house. Number one driver in the house. Que bueno, numero uno one driver. Number one driver. I love it. Holla. It's Ola, but I'm going to say holla. I like the perspective from you yesterday. You played the devil's advocate, and that's good. I appreciate it. Yeah, I resemble that. Yeah, I think he meant to say something else, but he said.
Good, Aaron.
Thank you. He said, I resemble that remark, but I think he meant to not say resemble. He looks a lot like the sentence I said. Stafford Scientist says, hey, speaking of that, what do you think about Harry Campbell and Simple Driver doing videos on the new Uber app?
I thought Harry Campbell was like a bear porn star.
So first off, I will tell you, in my opinion, Harry Campbell's word is the word of God.
No.
There you go. I have so much respect for Harry. Harry always puts drivers first. Harry makes money off of this, right? but he puts drivers first, and he does contact us. Almost every
It's the guy who wrote the book.
The guy who wrote the book. Almost every rideshare driver who does YouTube, who contributes to the community, Harry will personally contact and talk with you. And this was before I had 1,000 subscribers. I didn't have 1,000 subscribers. I wasn't nobody. I was just putting out videos, and Harry contacted me. I am now, man. I got invited to Tryp. They talked to me about stuff.
But they don't really exist yet.
Ooh, she's so pretty. Do you know Miss Universe is half Filipino this year? To no one's surprise, half Filipinos are the most beautiful women in the entire world. Hashtag fact. Oh, we got comments. Harry's at least trying to help. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people out there are just two-faced.
But I like the Symbol Driver. A lot of people don't like him because he clearly doesn't drive or doesn't drive anymore. He clearly is making money off referrals, and he clearly shells for Uber because that's his business model. But I like his content. I think his content is good. I think it helps drivers. I mean, I have no problem with him. He's not my favorite of all the rideshare YouTubers, but I like his content.
How do you like my laptop?
I love your laptop. Scott says, well, GrubHub came after Uber Eats. You get more in tips, and they deliver with GrubHub, almost none with Uber Eats. How do they do that? GrubHub looked at the food delivery model and said, Uber's fucking drivers. We're going to put drivers first. Now with GrubHub, there's automatic tipping. There, that's it. We're done. We're done. We're done here. It's a better app. You make more money with GrubHub than you do with Uber Eats. That's why they did it. And that's why customers are using their service because they feel it's more fair to the drivers. It's a good one. Calvin is a joke. Well, I know. A lot of people don't like him. Well, you can't say he's a joke. Like I said, man, he may not have any morals, but morals are for people who can afford to eat. He makes money. He makes money, man. He pays for his kids' food. And yeah, he might be selling out. I got no, as long as
we all sell out for a certain cost.
Yeah, here's the thing. Everyone has a price. I do not give a shit what that price is. It might be emperor of the world, but there's a price for you to sell somewhere. As long as you're honest. So if you have stake in something, if you're getting compensated in something, then you need to tell people. The problem I had with Calvin is he didn't say he got paid to do those PR videos for Uber. Once, then there's a lot of pushback from the community. Once he admitted that he did it, that's fine. But he wasn't going to tell y'all. That kind of shows you the kind of person he is. So even though I like his content and his channel,
he's a shady
motherfucker. He's like, ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees.
I got
bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free. That's the theme song to the Simple Driver. And he makes money, so it is what it is. Stan's in the house. What's up, Stan? Rideshare Revolution makes some damn good money. 2K Club, man. 2K's work. Rideshare is a broken system, Calvin. Well, yeah.
Is that a simple driver or just
Calvin is the Simple Driver.
So it's Calvin's watching it.
Yeah, I'm just saying your personal driver was way before the Simple Driver. I'm not telling you I don't know where he got his name from, but it's a little fishy that it's a lot like my name. I'm just saying. Savage Scientist says, hey, Rideshare Revolution, you got to add these two names to your database. Tell Simple.
Would you like one?
The Simple Sellout and the Rideshare Sellout. That's funny. The new Uber app is amazing, Calvin. Yeah. I like Rideshare Professor more than Calvin. I never liked the Rideshare Professor. The Referral Professor, I just never liked him. I will admit he's better now. But I started watching him a long time ago, and it was like very clear that he didn't know what he was talking about. I doubt he had drove, and he was just trying to make referrals. And then he started actually driving, I think, and made a little bit more money. So the Referral Professor is better now than he was. And I think that's smart business, right? Over time, his customer base demanded different content from him, and he put it out. But my thing is, that's why...
You're running. You're going everywhere. Talk about Tryp.
Don't tell me how to run my my live stream. You can tell me how to run my entire life, and I'll smile and say, "Yes, ma'am. May I have another?" But I'm gonna do my live streams the way I want to.
You're on a tangent.
The old rideshare professor is not the same person. Yeah, he changed. He changed his business model and his content to stay relevant. So I mean, kudos to him. But the reason I don't watch Jeremy Ellis is because if you Jermaine Ellis is, you know, because of BitConnect and BitConnect. And so when you push something that you know, here's the thing. He knew it was a scam and he still pushed it. I can't trust people like that. If you make an honest mistake, that's fine. Even Uberman shelled out for Uber too, but he came out and said, "Hey, I got paid $5,000 to do this. I couldn't ask my own questions. I was handed questions and I asked him." He was honest with everybody about what he was doing. So I got no problems with that.
Was it after he got caught?
No, he did it beforehand. Before the rideshare professor symbol driver beef was put on blast. And that was one of my favorite videos. I liked it.
The entrepreneur did a video on Uberman becoming auto auction rebuilds.
Auto auction rebuilds, yeah.
How many? He lost subscribers.
Yeah, he lost some, but he has more now. He doesn't want to do Uber anymore. I don't blame him.
Uber sucks.
I will say this. I really hope Tryp succeeds because Uber has become so bad that drivers can't make any money at all. They just simply can't.
They gotta sell their ass.
I mean, well, I should say this. In some markets you can. The Bay Area, LA, Chicago, New York, Atlanta. But outside of those major cities, I mean, good luck being in Louisiana making $2K a week. I mean, good luck. You're just not going to do it.
You can probably make $250.
But if you can make $250 a week in Louisiana, then you can make more money with Tryp.
Eric, marketing for Tryp is giving you a holla.
Ooh, this should be interesting. Hey, what's up, Eric? Not a whole lot, man. I'm live streaming right now. What's up with you? Yeah, sure. Just, I thought maybe you were calling me about the live stream, but you just wanted to say hi.
Hi, baby. Cheers.
Oh, do you want? You can jump in the chat and tell me, unless you don't want. I mean, I know you're like kind of a quiet guy. Just like to stay back there. Yeah, or you can text me, whatever, man. I'm glad that you liked the video.
Hey, stop it.
Yeah.
Coffee's not for you. Okay, baby? I love you. I love you.
For you're talking about drivers, right?
Oh, no. You're done with the chips.
Because customers, you're still giving 40 cents every time they use the app out of the service fee.
Heck no.
Oh, that's what I thought I said. I didn't say that clearly. I should restate that. I can do that for you.
Yay. Oh, man. Come on, Batman. Let's get out of here. Ooh, what's my brother doing? Vroom, vroom. I love you.
Okay, man. Sounds good.
Here you go.
All right, bye. I will say this. The Tryp people watch your videos. So he's like, I want to talk to you about your live stream last night. I was like, okay, interesting. So, what's up, Rideshare Evolution?
Still watch your, when you're.
Yeah, when I so he's gonna like it when I was making fun of him going. Payman's in the house. What's up? Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, all that kind of stuff. For whatever it is. They don't. Rideshare Evolution. Okay, the launch was in October. The launch was this week. The launch is next week. The launch is in January. So they don't know yet.
Nathan, look what your son did, Aaron. He spilled the chips.
Oh, this kid. So anyway, he said I was being unclear. So they're giving stock a pathway to stock options for referring drivers, and the service fee. 40 cents out of the service fee is only going to be for the referring driver. So I guess I didn't make that clear. So I apologize to everyone if I didn't do that. Good to see you among the living, Aaron. Well, barely. This one over here. Let's see if I can get Nate in here. Nate.
He's standing on our.
There's Nate.
Concessions.
Nate was really sick last night, and so we are barely living. We are living on coffee right now because he was up all night crying and pooping and diarrheaing. But it's good to see you too, man.
Shitting on the bed.
I have no idea what we were talking about before that phone call. First off, that was the marketing guy. Like, for a marketing guy, he is the shyest person. He's like a tall, skinny, blonde kid, and he just looks scared all the time. Like, he's cool, we talk and stuff like that, but like, it's weird to have an introvert as a marketing guy. It's like, I think I did get him on the camera last night. I was trying to get him on the camera all last night. No, I'm in Pasadena, California right now, Payman. I'm going to be in Ohio when we're done, but we're gonna hang. My mom, the kid's grandma, live here in Pasadena. He is listening to you, yeah. So he's gonna probably say something to me about when I was like,
little old lady in Pasadena, go granny,
So,
go granny, go granny, go.
what? Oh, my mom's thinking about getting a Tesla. That's probably not going to now.
Why?
Yes. So here's the thing. I'm used to companies listening to me. I know Uber was listening to all my content. I know Lyft was listening to all my content.
Okay.
Because they want to make sure their marketing's on point. You want to say hi, Nate? Say hi.
Let me clean up the mess.
Stop in Vegas and say hi. No, I should definitely not stop in Vegas because I want money. And if I stopped in Vegas,
No, you're really good at gambling.
They don't want you. I bet you they do. I bet you they do, man.
That's how we should pay for our trip. Every time we stop, you gamble.
I straight up asked if they're making a good list and a bad list of YouTube drivers. And I was hoping they were going to say no, but they said they were.
Who said that?
So they do watch you. You're just on the bad list.
They're like Santa.
They're like Santa. Tryp sees you when you're sleeping. Tryp knows when you're awake. Tryp knows if you've been bad or good to the company. And so be good to the company for goodness sake. How many times do you have to change your car to get to Ohio, or will you fly to Ohio and trailer the cars?
We only have one car.
We only have one car. We only have the van.
We sold the Volkswagen.
We sold the electric car, and I was very depressed and sad because I love that car.
Happy.
Dorothy does not like the electric car.
Oh, my hair's crazy. I was so happy.
You want to be on camera? Oh, you were leaning in, so I thought you wanted to be on the camera.
No.
Tryp emailed me, but I didn't respond. What was I saying? Oh, so we're gonna stop in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Tennessee.
Nashville,
Tennessee. We can't drive straight through with the kids. I have a microscopic size channel. I don't know why, man. Like, I like Rideshare Revolution. He's my favorite rideshare channel, probably. Well, I don't know. I kind of like Dave's channel a lot too. But anyway, definitely top 3, top 2 Rideshare Revolution.
Dave, the Uber slave, is a horrible driver.
He's a bad Uber driver. He's a good YouTuber. Savage Scientist might be my favorite YouTube channel. And I don't know why no one subscribes to him. I don't know.
Subscribe to Savage Scientist. He keeps things real.
He does. I do Uber in a police car. Oh, shit, guys. I'm running out of coffee. It may be bad. I was talking about Tryp, I guess. Maybe I should keep doing that. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, you didn't get me coffee?
I'm good.
My wife loves me. I should always do a live stream, guys. My wife gives me coffee on when I do live streams on.
No. We're all out of coffee.
We're all out of coffee. What a terrible thing.
I'm on my second cup. Well, I'm on my first cup, really. Because I only do half coffee.
Stan says, my daughter was 5 months old when I drove all the way from Detroit to Jacksonville, Florida, and she finally woke up in Georgia, man. I was lucky. I had someone with me, though, but still. Yeah. I hear you there. But we're just going to get a hotel and
Johnny
stay.
was good when you drove from Alaska to
Phoenix. Yeah. And then I drove from Phoenix to Georgia.
Yeah.
Or Texas. Did I drive to Georgia? Did I fly to Texas? I flew to Georgia, didn't I?
I don't know. I was deployed. I don't know.
I don't know. But Johnny's really good in the car. This one right here.
Yeah.
Johnny's good in the car. Nate, not so much.
Nate's he requires a little bit more.
He does require a little bit of attention.
A little TLC.
So
Hey, Nate, don't
anyway,
carpet.
Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions you want me to ask the Tryp people?
He is so gross. He was licking carpet.
Ew, carpet licker. I drove from New Orleans to Chattanooga, Tennessee, 600 miles, and it was hell. She had a 2-year-old. I wanted to get out of the car and walk home. Nate is rough in the car. I'll put it that way. It helps that the van has a TV in each chair with an HDMI in, a USB in, and an audio auxiliary out. So they can put on their headphone in the car, and then basically I set up a PlayStation back there. They can play video games. They can watch videos.
That's why a car gets broken into, because it's fully loaded.
That's also why our car gets broken into twice in 3 weeks. But yes. Will Tryp be all over the United States? When will they start? Stan,
No.
the start date is a bit of a contentious topic. So, they said they were going to launch and they didn't. They said they were going to launch and they didn't. They're supposed to do it next week. We'll see. Then a big launch in January. They don't have an app yet, guys. So Tryp is just a concept, an idea that these guys are trying to pull out of the clouds of ideas and put into reality. So there's nothing now. There's a website. That's it. I like to know how they're funding this, who's backing them up, and what kind of cash they have for this project. I asked that question. They just didn't straight up just didn't tell me. I asked how big the company was, how many employees they have, how many employees they want to have, and how much cash they have. And they basically were like, we're not going to tell you that. So I couldn't answer that. I think Mystro is really good. I love Mystro. Here's the thing. It works for me.
Do you like REFERRAL?
I don't like Mystro as much as I like REFERRAL, but REFERRAL doesn't do the same thing Mystro does. I think the problem with Mystro is they pushed it for everyone, and a lot of markets don't have Uber and Lyft. So if you don't have Uber and Lyft, you shouldn't use Mystro. And I think a lot of people just signed up, and if you're only using one app, it doesn't make any sense to have Mystro.
Dance, baby, dance. Shake those underpants.
We also need to know how they're covered by insurance. What's the deductible? They didn't tell me the deductible. So I don't think they know what the deductible is. But
I think they're just taking input from all the YouTube drivers, and that's something that they're going to talk about.
Well, they took the guy with the most rides in Las Vegas and hired him as a consultant. But they're using the same 3-tiered insurance plan that Uber and Lyft have. So there's a phase 1, which is like no coverage except for if you hit somebody else. So the driver doesn't have any coverage during phase 1. Phase 2, it covers limited things when you get a driver or when you get a ride and you're on your way to pick that person up. And then an umbrella policy for everybody in the car once you have a customer. They did not tell me how much the deductible is. So it will be around $1,000 to $3,000. Like Lyft is $2,500. $2,500 is Lyft. So it'll be in there somewhere, and we'll see what it ends up being.
You're my little baby.
That's how you market. Actually, my computer's frozen, but the camera's still on, so I don't know.
It's super froze.
Let's see if it's frozen.
So
we might still be live, so don't say anything crazy.
No, I'm not. So our Reload Cube has arrived in Mason, And I called them.
Cube has arrived in Mason.
Yeah, we're still live. It's just the video's frozen.
Yeah, we're still live.
No, the video's working.
Yeah, we're still live. No, the video's
Well, that's a weird feedback loop. Stop it! Stop it! Why? So everything's still working, Dorothy. We'll just have to watch on this now, I guess.
Let's see who chats.
So Rideshare Revolution said that's how you market. You got to spend money to make money. Yes. That's what the guy called me. He says they do have a marketing budget. They just don't want to start marketing until their app is available, basically. They do plan on spending money on marketing, though. But you probably won't see it in your market until they're ready to release there. So the marketing is going to be focused in Arizona and Las Vegas and where they're doing the beta testing. So that's the one reason that nothing's in California. They're not releasing the app in California right now. That's one thing he wanted to call me and let me say. So how many employees did you actually hear Tryp say they have? They didn't tell me. Like they do have a project managers and developers, or are they outsourcing these things? No, they have engineers. They're based in Las Vegas. That's also where their call center is, and they are working on finding real estate in Los Angeles. That's one of the reasons that they were out there talking with us, is because one of the markets they want to open up is LAX, and they need to have some kind of infrastructure here. So he was looking at office space and such like that to start renting, to start moving towards opening in LAX.
Trying to find his red stapler.
Trying to find his red stapler so he could burn everything down. And which markets are going to go first? Washington, D.C., and apparently we're the 5th largest market. So the first thing they're going to do is they're calling it a soft launch. We're going to have a soft launch. That's a fancy way of saying they're going to beta test it. And they're going to beta test it in markets that don't have any red tape.
No,
so there's a reason why Waymo and Uber and Lyft are testing all of their driverless cars in Arizona. Is there's virtually no red tape to enter the market there in Arizona. So because of that, that's why they're going to beta test it in Arizona. No, Nate, you spilled all your chips. You don't get a snack. You a sad baby now because I don't get a snack? And then if you go to the website, which is tryprides.com, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Just Google Tryp Rides. If you do that, they'll show you what markets they're going to be in. So they have on there, they have a plan, what states and cities to open in, and even a timeline. It's on the website if you want to look at it. Later, Aaron. Have a good one. Some of the larger markets actually might not be first to go because some of the larger markets are regulated more. Like they're not going to launch in New York, at least not until New York figures out what the hell they're doing. I mean, the red tape in New York for rideshare right now is getting stupid ridiculous. So they're definitely going to wait there. I know Austin is a big one they want to go into because there's almost no red tape now. And Austin has a lot of rideshare companies in it. So there's like 5 or 6 companies operating in Austin. So if there's 6 companies operating in Austin, what's one more, right?
Which one is it? Is it Tryp?
Trypp. Trypp. Just one more. My thing with Mystro was it crashed Android when I tested the app, and once Android ran split screen, it was no need for Mystro. Using 2 phones is the best. Yeah, I agree. But remember, Savage Scientists, we work in 2 different markets. In Seattle, like it was kind of dangerous to look on your phone like that and analyze. I mean, yeah, if you're in a parking lot and you don't have any rides, you can look at 2 phones, or you can look at a split screen on your phone and you can think about it and make a decision. But when you're driving in a busy city like Seattle or LA or San Francisco, it's hard to toggle back and forth.
They're about us on LinkedIn.
They have a LinkedIn account. They did LinkedIn, but they didn't get a Twitter handle. That's funny.
You want to read it?
Dave the Uber Slave has their Twitter handle.
Company size 2.
On LinkedIn, my wife says they have 10 employees.
They're just on the very early stages.
Yeah. So anyway, well, especially in San Francisco, it's so hard to drive in San Francisco because the roads are so small and overcrowded, and there's pedestrians and bikers and motorcycles and buses and all in different lanes going in different directions and all kinds of nonsense in San Francisco. I mean, if you were going to run both apps, you needed to have a Mystro. Mystro wasn't even the only one. There are other ones that were free too. I just thought Mystro did a better job. That's just my opinion though. So then after that, you are live. I'm seeing you. Gotta say payment. Gotta see you. Have a good one. No Lyft changes from 2,500 to 1,000 recently. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Oh,
that's good to know. Gotta
I'm
go.
gonna pick up
Gotta go get the groceries.
yeah.
Nate's gonna cry when you leave. Can you bring him over here? It sounded to me that they actually at least a year away from being able to do anything or more, since everything is bluster at this point.
Are you at the
I would say that they are definitely gonna have a full launch in 2019. The question is, are they gonna go nationwide? So it's actually relatively easy to create and start a rideshare app in your local area. I mean, you can hire team engineers for between $10 and $30 million, which sounds like a lot, but for a startup, it's not. But the problem is you only have a local market share. And for Tryp to work, they need subscriptions from drivers. No, Nate. Hold on. The kids open the door. No. Come on. Go. I am very sad that my 2-year-old learned how to open doors. So it is what it is. So they will do operating in the first quarter of 2019. They just have to get their app finalized, and then they have to beta test the app. That's what they're doing now. The question is, how soon will they get to a national audience? And that, you're right, that might take a year or two away. So if you're like in Florida, you know, Florida is not really that important to rideshare, even though there's a big population there. They might not get to Florida until like 2020, 2021. But I guarantee you Atlanta, maybe not Chicago, because it's not on their list of cities that they're going to try to attempt to get to. But California, Washington, Oregon, for sure, Arizona, Texas, and then Georgia, for sure, they'll be operating in next year. It's just a matter of its second quarter or third quarter, basically. Okay, next question. Stan says, in my opinion, driverless cars are way too much of a liability, and these people can get sued and say they got hit by a driverless car and don't even end up going bankrupt. It's possible, but all the driverless cars have cameras and data, so it'll be harder to prove that you got hit by a driverless car. In fact, most accidents, almost all accidents with driverless cars are humans' faults, and they have the data to back that up too. You guys want to see my kid kick the other kid? It'll be fun to watch. Uberman says, great job, Aaron. I always love watching your videos. I appreciate it. Seven Science says, oh, okay. I'm going to start making a male prostitute app. They have that. It's called, what's the hookup app for gay dudes? For gay dudes.
I don't know.
Grindr. They have a Grindr app.
Isn't that for coffee though?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know that joke,
I'm so funny.
there was one of those anti-gay congressmen who had the Grindr app on his phone and got caught. He's like, I thought it was for coffee.
I'm so funny.
All anti-gay politicians almost exclusively have gay sex, and that's why they're like that. But anyway, I digress.
What the heck?
I'll call it gigolo.
That is the voice.
That's funny. There are no promotions in Florida, just oranges. That's right, Sleeping Elephant. Sleeping Elephant in the house.
Just a gigolo.
Atlanta, Boston, Denver, DC are important fetch hubs. Yeah. So what they're going to do is open up in large markets that don't have a lot of regulation and then move into the other ones, which logically makes sense. So, Jonathan, that is not okay to do that.
You're fine, Johnny.
Hurt me.
I know, but you still don't have to scream like that. Stay out of Chicago. They will for a while, man.
Jonathan.
Well, the real big problem we're doing Washington, D.C. area is you get in Virginia and Maryland on top of it, then you have a whole bit of ball of wax. Exactly. Rideshare revolution. No one, they're not going to add drivers to the road. They're just going to usurp current drivers. Like that's literally, okay, so then they were trying to come up with a model for the company. This is what the CEO said. He said, I got into a car and I saw there was an Uber and a Lyft sticker. And so I asked the driver who he's more faithful to. And the driver's like, I don't really care. A ride's a ride. Whoever pays me the most. And he's like, so there's no brand loyalty. And that was why his idea to run the company the way it was driver centric. Because if you can get drivers to be loyal to you, there's already a built-in customer base. So he's not trying to add additional riders to the road. He's just trying to get drivers to push Lyft on the customers. Will Tryp fix the bum lot situation countrywide? I think it'll make it worse. Because if you're dropping people off with Tryp, you're not going to get a rematch like Uber and Lyft, so you'll have to get a lot.
See if you can drink. Just drink.
Chocolate Slayer, man. I think you're right here. In case you weren't, Chocolate Slayer's in the house. A loyal dog. Yeah, well, they explain what disruptive technology is. I can tell you what disruptive technology is. I don't know what their interpretation is. Disruptive technology is just firing people from old jobs and making them work in new jobs for less money. Rodney's in the house. Wasabi. What's up, Rodney? I don't think I've seen you in a while, Rodney. It's good to have you back on, or at least you don't chat if you're here.
Oh, you guys sit from the side.
Oh man, I'm running out of coffee. You still driving for Lyft? Yes. I have to go through the process of getting an Ohio driver's license so I can get my account switched over. They won't let me drive in Ohio with my California license. So, but I will start driving over there. Doing Lyft Plus in Ohio. Are we by Cincinnati? Or are we by the other one? We're by Cincinnati. I'll be driving Cincinnati. But anyway, you guys got other questions or anything? Yeah, dude, my wife is going to college at Xavier.
Johnny, give me that.
So I will be paying attention to the NCAA tournament really closely this year because Cincy, yeah. Well, that's a good question. That's a good question to ask the Mystro people. What city you live in? Right now, I'm homeless. I used to live in Berkeley, California, and I'm driving to Mason, Ohio.
Stop. Go. Get away.
Right now, I'm in Pasadena, California, because we're spending Christmas with my mom.
Get the
And this is addicting. It's like a fidget spinner, only with a McDonald's toy.
Get the cap, Johnny.
Visit the Creation Museum in Kentucky.
Then get out.
Oh man, I do not want to go anywhere near that thing.
Get out.
She listens to your mother. Suck it up, Buttercup, and sit down.
I'm gonna get the cat and then Mama.
Oh well, sit down. Crybaby Sally.
Yeah.
He's hiding.
Eat it, Nate.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go, guys. The thing I like and don't like about live chats is they just go off the rails, because you have a point and a plan, you want to talk about something, and then give it to me, Nate. And then people ask you questions, and then you have no idea what you're talking about anymore. Isn't that where Noah's Ark is? Yeah, the fake Noah's Ark. I have a 4.84 rating with Uber and 353 5 stars, and I don't understand how some people give me a 1 star, like 7 people, go figure. Stan, people are fucked up, man. So just do your thing. Do your thing. And just realize that people are just going to screw you. That's something you have to accept. What the heck is the bum lot? David in the house. The bum lot is the parking lot queue. So the people who wait for where bums congregate.
Jonathan, where is the cat?
So if you don't know, or you don't live in a major city,
Jonathan.
people wait
all the chips
in a
that
parking
everybody
lot
drops.
queue. It's first in, first
Those
out
were your chips, right?
for airport rides.
Pick it up.
And a lot of, I would say, unskilled
Pick
or
it up. All the
unmotivated
chips up.
drivers exclusively do the airport. So they'll call a customer and say, where are you going? And if the answer isn't airport, they hang up and they cancel the ride. Then they go to the airport and they wait in the lot. And they work like 20-hour days because they spend 3 or 4 hours in the airport queue and they sleep in their car. And that's basically all they do all day, every day. And anyway, it's not the most successful business model, but it's a way to make a living. That's how taxi cabs used to kind of operate. And so I think
Stop it, Aaron.
I think that's why that that got so popular. But because that they're, I would say, less skilled than most drivers, they're called bums. They're also really mean and annoying, the airport people. And they're like they think it's like territorial. Like it's not territorial, but that's what they think.
What the hell? What's a temple?
Merry Christmas. You have a beautiful family. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays and happy New Year and all that fun stuff. Where are you moving in Ohio? I'm from there. Jeff in the house. What's up, Jeff? I'm moving to Mason, Ohio. Sleeping up at Lowell. Yeah, it is. I'm glad that's catching on. Yeah. There are times when the airport is good. I will tell you a great time to use the airport. Anytime Netflix releases a Marvel show and you want to binge watch it. Anytime Daredevil comes out on Netflix, the airport lot's the place to be. Because you're going to have 2 to 4 hours to watch as much Daredevil as you want. Take one ride. Johnny, don't do that if you don't have clothes on, dude. I just told you that already. Put some pants on if you want to dance. Kids. That way you can binge watch all of Daredevil, but still make a little bit of money. That's about it. Only time it's good there to be there.
Okay.
They think they own the bum lot. Tryp will show them. Yeah. I'm from Centerville, which is about 20 minutes from Mason. Oh, cool, Jeff.
Oh, how's the weather there?
Maybe we'll drive.
How's the weather there?
Cold. How's the weather there in Centerville?
Supposedly it doesn't snow as much in Cincinnati versus the rest of Ohio.
I chalk it up to people forgetting to get their prescription filled for their supposed Prozac. It's funny.
Jonathan, Nathan.
You can dance if you want to.
Which one do you want to play with?
Leave this world behind.
I want to play with the pink one.
Okay, you got to stay seated here. Don't move at all. Stay seated.
Guys, we have a coffee emergency.
What?
There is no coffee. I'm on empty.
You're done with it?
I got into an argument with bums at our bum lot. So when I want to sit at the airport, I park my police car at the sheriff's lot.
So how do we play this thing?
You squeeze
I still think you can run a great cash business at the airport lot, which is you hold some dude's cell phone for them for $5. Put it like in a shoebox or a plastic container. And then that way they can go do whatever they want to, and then they can stay in the queue without violating the terms of service.
I forgot Nate has a sensitivity issue. He's not going to like this because it's kind of sticky. Being
in Mason, Ubering Kings Island would be a good idea. I'll check it out. Thanks for the
Kings
tip.
Island's about 9 minutes from where we live.
Yeah. Ohio's small. If the numbers are low at the queue, it's a good idea because you can drive in and drive out and get a ride from the airport.
Did
I touch that?
Yeah. It's supposed to be, it's no stick. It's no stick and it's no mess.
Yeah, I got the pink one because it kind of looks like red.
Pink kind of looks like red.
It's
That's
called
kind of true.
It's squishy. It never dries.
Sunny and 67 here in Middleburg, Florida. Yeah, I think it's like 68 degrees here in Southern California.
You can build it.
Bengals games, lots of drunks. And they after
And
they
the
lose.
Reds too.
I'll probably do Reds games, but I'm not going to do Browns games.
And then we can go.
Go see my friend Lucy at Creation Museum and see how they transferred me during the flood. I don't want to go. I'll get kicked out of the Creation Museum because I'll go crazy. They said that dinosaurs and humans hung out together at the Creation Museum. That's how dumb that place is.
Oh, I thought the Creation Museum was like for little toddlers.
I call the airport mafia. Yeah. I was wondering how these guys make a living because it doesn't look like they're doing diddly squat. I know I can't make money at the airport.
The little tiny balls go back.
It's because there's almost no dead miles. So even though you make less money, like the amount of money you keep in your pocket and the amount of money you keep off of your car maintenance is higher Because you're okay, Nate. You're okay.
I'm just checking your temperature.
Oh my gosh, it's just
Because there's no dead miles. You drive to the airport, you drive from the airport. You drive to the airport, you drive from the airport. So there's no dead miles. It's more efficient, but you make less money. And they're lazy. And they work every day. If you work 7 days a week, 20 hours a day, until that's it. That's all you do is you sit in the airport a lot. You don't even take showers. So 55 degrees here in hell. Louisiana, close enough. Johnny. Shh. Is that the part of Florida where people live? Your pedos live? That's the top. Northern Florida is where all the alligator inbred pedophiles are.
Johnny.
Shh.
Quiet, Jonathan.
Hey Jeff, how much are you making a week? Just curious.
Don't eat
I don't know who Jeff is.
Squeeze it.
Ronnie has
Squeeze it.
close to 2 Dayton and Ronnie is close to Dayton and Cincy. Cool. Stan, haven't done Uber in a while since I got a new job. All right, guys. I am going to leave the chat here. So
Take your conversations elsewhere.
take your conversations elsewhere. And then we'll talk more about Tryp and other rideshare stuff later. Also, Aaron, come March, might want to go into March Madness. Yes, I agree with that. First 4 is in Dayton.
Is this for you, Mom?
Are you driving in Ohio? Ed's in the house. I will be driving Lyft in Ohio, yes.
Wait, Nate, you get 3.
All right, guys.
No, you can play.
I can play.
I know you miss picking up Uber Express pool packs in the middle of high-speed intersection. Admit it. I will not miss driving in San Francisco at fucking all. It's miserable. That's why you make so much money there, because it's so hard. Have a great day, man. See ya. Deuces, guys. See you later.
Well, mostly.
I actually don't know how to stop this because the computer's frozen.